All right, everybody, welcome back to Beans No Ball. It is Conference Championship Sunday. At least tomorrow it will be. Get a full day to get you guys ready for all the action. We are in for some crazy football. Our NFC side of the bracket, Christian, is still alive and well. We can get into that in just a little bit. But on the AFC side, it got a little chopped up, and we got just some storybook stuff that we can get into right now. So let's just get into this. There's got history all over this one.
Yeah, obviously, the first things first, Jared Stidham's going to get the start for the Broncos. This has been well established after Blow Nix blew out his ankle on the last couple of plays against the Bills, which is very unfortunate. A lot of people wanted to see that Nix and May battle would have been the quarterback battle of probably of recent time, one of the best ones we could have had in recent time. But Jared Stidham, he's going to be the guy hoping to carry the Broncos into this game, and it's going to take a lot. From a guy who's barely had any start in the league. From his first career start would look promising, but just hasn't really had that many experience then too, and you're gonna start to probably have to rely on the Broncos defense just a little bit more. They did their job against the Bills for the most part to keep it intact, keep it a close game for the most part. But now with Jared Stidham in the board here, you expect a whole different game plan moving for this Broncos team. But when you're looking at the Patriots, they didn't look that great either against the Texans either. We saw what happens when a top defense gets into the head of Drake May, get into him early. We saw that. The Houston's D was putting him in line the whole time each drive. He held them under 200 yards. They were getting it done. Drake made the pressure. He did not look good under pressure at all whatsoever. That's gonna have to be one of the main things moving forward with the Broncos coming into this game is probably containing May early, let alone with Jared Stidham coming into the quarterback position. The defense is gonna have to be a lot on the move there too. But again, with the Patriots, not only the offense, that defense is still going to go great. I'm going to expect them to get at Stidham just as much as the Broncos are going to get at Drake May. Quarterback battle, who knows? Maybe it might not be the quarterback battle everyone was expecting, but at least for the defensive side, for those people that love those defensive battles, you're going to expect them much on the AFC side on this point in time, but just very unfortunate with the Broncos and this fight. It's going to take a huge, huge Cinderella story for them to
Here's the
even have a
thing, though.
chance.
I don't think it's as cut and dry. And did you give your pick on him? I'm sure we kind of get it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, all right, yeah, we get
I'm going with the Patriots
you
on
got
this
the
one.
Pats.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that cut and dry. Sure, Stiddy hasn't thrown a ball since 2023, all this and that. There is, for one, the element of the unknown.
Yeah.
We got all the tape on Knicks. Get Stidham. Sure, everyone's gonna say they're ready. They're ready for their chance. I was saying it just as jokes, but Auburn Stidham was a thing. And if he can replicate some of that, and he doesn't even have to replicate it because we know what this defense is capable of. We know, I mean, one, like you said, the Patriots have been struggling offensively. And of course, this Broncos defense has stepped up throughout the season and in throughout the playoffs. Nick Bonito gets to Will Howard, who has been struggling and doesn't protect Drake May. We're going to see another struggle from him. Sure, the Texans had the great secondary. The Broncos are the ones with one of the best front sevens in football. And if they get to May, it's going to be hard for him to get anything. So all we need is Stidham to have just an average game. And if he can get through this also pretty stout Patriots defense, I'm going with an upset. At home, I'm taking the Broncos to win this game. I think it's just going to come down to, again, I know obviously both of these teams aren't that experienced for what it's worth, but it's Sean Payton for what that's worth. He's gonna dial up some crazy stuff. We're forgetting this is the guy who went with an onside kick to start the second half of the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. So I'm expecting some crazy play calling and Sean Payton to find some way to get the Broncos into the Super Bowl. Now on the NFC side, round three. This one's gonna be cinema. Thankfully, I will be at SoFi for the watch party, which is gonna that in itself is gonna be crazy. But at Lumen Field, obviously the nightmares of the crazy 2-point play, the crazy overtime game in week 12, week 6, week 16. And then of course, it's a revenge for both sides. Let's not forget in SoFi, Sam Darnold, he still has for one the was it a 3 interception game again or 4 interception game?
The first
Four
match was four
interception
interceptions.
game
Yeah.
at SoFi to start the season. And we look back to the playoffs last year, getting sacked 9 times against this arguably the same front seven. He's got those playoff demons to exercise. The Rams got to get their revenge at Lumen Field. I'm expecting this to go out pretty similarly, except probably not the Rams getting out to a crazy lead and blowing it. This is going to go band for band. Both offenses are going to get going. There's going to be points where the defenses step up. I think it's just going to come down to just at the end. I think my main thing in that second matchup was the run game. I think now when you don't have Charbonnet to lean on with this Rams defense, I think it's going to be a difference, and they're finally going to get to shut down the Seahawks run game. And you get Devontae Adams in this game on the Rams side of the ball. We didn't have Devontae the first time in Seattle. He's going to be a difference maker once you get into the red zone, and the Rams are going to pull this one out and head to Santa Clara for Super Bowl 60.
Yeah, I mean, with how dominant that Seahawks defense is, you just better hope. Because even looking, Darnold hasn't been playing. He did not play great at all during the
Coming
night.
off
I
the
mean,
oblique too.
coming off the oblique, he hasn't coming into the game. Didn't throw a ball since getting with that injury. But I mean, the defense did put up majority of the work against the Niners. So obviously that held a little leverage for Darnold not able to do most. But when the offense got off the field, I mean, Jay Hassan, I mean, he was held. Darnold was pretty much contained for the most part. But I mean, everything else coming into this game is really just going to be about. It's going to be between Stafford and Darnold. Who's going to lead the offense first? Because we know what both defenses can do. Seahawks defense has the upper edge by a mile on the Rams. But at the end of the day, again, it's going to come down to the quarterback who's going to be the more consistent guy on the field to put up the more points. Because that Seahawks defense, unlike the offense, that Seahawks defense, they can put up points. And we saw that against the Niners. They can put up points like nothing. That pass rush, D-Law, he can find he's so close. Finally so close. Obviously, former Cowboys. So I'm expecting, a pretty decent game from him and everyone there. That secondary, obviously Puka and Devonta, they're going to have to put up something to contain them early on because we saw with the Bears. I mean, Puka and Staff, they were getting going early, and then we saw from the next drives, from that first drive, I believe they only racked up like 11 yards, all those combined. So containing them early, that's going to be a big step for that defense. But I mean, like I said, it's going to be between Matt and Darnold to see who's going to come out on top first.
So what's your pick? You're bearing the lead here.
You already know my pick. I'm going Seahawks.
You gotta confirm it right here. Like I guess you want to be secretive about it. You gotta look all the way back into your bracket. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. We'll see once we wrap these up in the recap, see which was is right and see who's on their way to Santa Clara. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you back Monday morning.